strange day today. I thought I was going to need an umbrella for my dog walk today, and didn't need it. It's actually kind of sunny. I'm a bit late today. Had a late night last night. A lot of chatting to people and whatever, and blah blah blah. And I made some arrangements today. At 2 o'clock, I will be going live from. Say hello in the chat, by the way, if you're watching. Getting disconnected. I've got going up to. Hello, whoever's online. I'm going up to a place called Krasny Selo in Russia, and up there from me. What time? Where are you from? What? This is St. Petersburg, Russia, which is Leningrad Oblast, which is Russia's northern capital. Hello, Aussie Spy. So, I was just talking about Aussie Spy. I was just saying, I'm going up at 2 o'clock to meet him, Aussie Spy Jason, up in Krasny Selo. We will be live streaming from there, which should be interesting. We'll see what's in the town. I know what's in the town. He knows what's in the town. But for those who haven't watched my live streams, who may be interested in what's in and around that town. Hello, my parents are Jacob K. My parents are from Russia. That's great. You on your way? You on your way? School, Tiger Man. No, I'm a bit old for school, aren't I? Don't you think? Maybe I could do some schooling. So anyway, I'm meeting Jason up there. He's in the chat here, and I want to make him a moderator. Does anybody know how to do that? How do you make Jason a moderator? Add the moderator. Manage much standard moderator. Can manage block words and change chat modes in live, and also has standard moderator. Can review and remove chat messages. Hide or put users in time. Oh, management. So let's do that. So Jason is now a managing moderator. So Jason's now a managing moderator. So watch yourselves. You on your way to go. Bag of sweets. Bag of sweets. Why do I need a bag of sweets? No, that's not necessary, is it really? So Jason, is now a moderator, and I'll be meeting up. Hello, all 38 of you. Hello, good morning to you. I'm coming straight from St. Petersburg, Russia. Leningrad Oblast, just outside of St. Petersburg, which is Russian Federation, or former USSR, if you prefer to call that, whichever. The name Krasny Selo means beautiful village, but in direct translation it means says red village. Well, yeah, that's very much like in Moscow, where they have Red Square. It's not actually Red Square; it's beautiful. It means more beautiful, more than red. But anyway, you got high heels on. Tiger Man, no, I don't wear high heels. This is Russia. We don't have such transgender nonsense. Like the smell and sound of snails, but now I'm sad because winter is coming in the summer. I kept a few in the jar fed so I can. Okay, whatever. Hey man, I got my antibiotics as well. You keep snails. I didn't get to read that. We went a bit too fast. You're Russian? No, I'm not Russian. I'm English. I'm an Englishman. Englishman in Russia. Oh, I'm an Englishman. So yeah, I'm an Englishman. Not a snail guy personally. Are you gay? No, I am not gay. I am not homosexual. We don't have homosexuals in Russia. We do, but I'm not one of them. Sorry. I'm married with a wife and dogs. Don't have children. Well, I've got children, but they're grown up. Good morning. Good morning, GJ. Good morning to you. Hydro Kill. Love from India. Hello, India. How are you doing? Russia sounds a decent place. It's a decent place. Can't believe you're still streaming. I'm not still streaming. I've only just come online. Blimey. Thank you for the hearts for sending that up. How life, bro? Mark Hamill. Life is great. Thank you. It's absolutely wonderful. I'll be going, for those who just joined me, I will be going up to Krasny Selo with Aussie Spy, which is Jason. We'll be meeting up there on the parade square, in fact. Is what it is. It's Central Square where they do parades, and we'll be live streaming from there. Then we'll go to a cafe and get some coffee and whatever, and I'll be showing you part of that rural town, semi-rural town. Let's go and spy then. Ford Mustang. I have just subscribed to you. Thank you, Ford Mustang. Thanks for subscribing. You're very welcome to see my content. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, mate, I've got my advice. You say exams tomorrow, and it's basically that goes for Australia. Wish me luck. I wish you luck. 7RHMT. I wish you luck. I don't know what VCE exams are exactly, but wherever they are, I wish you luck, and I hope you do very well. And I'm sure you will do very well. If you're watching my live stream, you must be doing well. You must be a wise man. Let's go on the prowl. Do you think we should go on the prowl? Shall I turn you around? I'll turn you around there. I'll turn you all around. Here we are. You are friendly. Of course I'm friendly. Why would I not be friendly? I'm in Russia. What's not friendly about Russia? You know? Louder. What accent is that? What part of Britain? What part of Britain am I from? I am from Yorkshire. I'm from England, originally. England, Yorkshire, which is the north of England, prowling. Which is double tap the screen, people. What Tom, what does double tapping do? I don't know. I'm actually quite new to live stream. I've had a YouTube channel for a long time, but that's to do with repairing electrics, and really it's a kind of small hobby channel. It's HSC. So VCS exam, is it HSC? I'm none the wiser what HSC is. So if it's not one, it's the other. So Tom likes the stream. Give you a like, thank you. Yes, I think it's a pretty good stream. I like this stream. I like walking around in the forest and just talking to people. It's great. Why are you against Russia? You said it that earlier. No, I'm not against Russia. Why would I be against Russia? I live in Russia. That's a foolish thing to say, isn't it? Bimboy was timed that by Aussie. Oh, you see, this is what happens when I get a moderator in the chat. You see, you can't misbehave, can you? Your accent isn't far away from being a pudding. A pudding. What's a pudding? What's the difference between wise and sage? Who is wiser? Hi, All Game World Rus. Hi from Russia. Hello, All Game Rush. Привет, как дела? What part of Russia are you in? I'm in this is St. Petersburg, Russia, but it's a very rural place. I live in a rural settlement that is, well, it's a what they call a gated community. It's kind of a closed-in community, okay, so private community, if you like. Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding, of course I am, yes. Yes, Yorkshire, I think a bit basic. Yorkshire pudding. So, what did they say about us Yorkshire people? Strong in arm and thick in head, right? That's about right. Why did you move to Russia? I moved to Russia because it's one, love for my wife, because my wife's Russian, and the other was it makes financial sense. Scottish? No, I'm not Scottish. I am English or from Yorkshire. That's where I'm from. Raju, hello Raju. Welcome to my live stream. Damn man, you're in Russia. I thought you were in England. No, I'm in Russia. Sorry. You should be glad. I'm showing you something. There's a skinwalker. What's a skin? Welsh girl here. Hello, Beth, Welsh girl. My dad was from Ellsworth. He was from Treorchy, if you know the place, if you heard of the place, which is from the valleys. He was. Is it? Oh, very nice Russian woman. The only reason to move to Russia. Of course it is. No, it's not the only reason to move to Russia, but it's a good place. It's a good reason, isn't it? Hi, man. How does it look, man? Going to the local grocery store. Do you still have to stand around in a queue all morning to buy a loaf of bread? Yes, I have to stand all morning for a loaf of bread. That's why I'm here doing this live stream. No, you're looking at the early 90s when the fall of the Soviet Union occurred, when there was a crisis. But now that's 30 or something, whatever it is, years ago, and it's long gone. And now we don't have such nonsense. I was born in Treorchy. You were born in Treorchy? Oh my good God. There you go. It's a small world, isn't it, Beth? You wouldn't believe it. Treorchy. That's the neighbour's alarm, which makes me jump every day. Every day I've done a live stream this week, or last week, because now we're on Monday, right? Shut up. Thank you. Every day I've done a live stream last week, which was today's Monday, so it's this week. And every day I've walked past this house, and every day that damn alarm has gone off and made me jump. What's the best bit about Russia? What's the best bit about your country? I don't know. I think there's good things for everybody and bad things for everybody, isn't there? Awesome content. Thank you. Bugs have thoughts. Do you think so? I wonder. Which bugs? That's amazing that somebody's from Treorchy. That's really surprised me. Awesome. That's yep. If you're new to anywhere, I'm coming live from St. Petersburg, Russia. This is a small settlement. It's actually a place called Gorelova, which means kind of fire. Because Garit is fire, so Gorelova. So a fireplace, a place of fire. It's a forest. I live in a gated community that is partly forest. It's forested because these are actually building plots. You wouldn't believe it, but they are building plots. Because of certain regulations, they have not been used, and probably they won't ever be used. So it's just growing into forest for now. But how long have you lived in Russia? Levi Peters. I've been here 15 years, on and off, not full time. I think I've been here. Do you know what? I don't even know how long I've been permanently. I can't remember when I think it's permanently now, either 6 or 7 years. But before that, I was traveling between. Look, this is my, he's from New Zealand. I was talking to my neighbours yesterday. I said, well, I got your mural on the live stream, and they were absolutely delighted about it, because, you know, some people are not happy about being on live streams or being on camera, right? But my neighbours were actually delighted about it. So I'll show you again if you've not seen my live streams, I'll show you their house. That's that greenhouse there where my finger's pointing. That is not actually a greenhouse. That is a swimming pool, an outdoor swimming pool. And because of the weather here, they've decided to put a greenhouse made from polycarbonate over the top of it. And so it's an outdoor swimming pool. It's not heated, so it's not used in winter. But yeah, that is a swimming pool. It's emptied in the winter and then filled up in summer. An old road grade or train grade. Old road grade or train grade. It's nothing. It's a kind of a homemade road, if you like. That's their house anyway. If you look on the side of their house, that mural is of Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is a Russian folk witch who collects children and eats them, you know, kind of like Hansel and Gretel type witch, you know, gingerbread house and all that. Though she didn't have a gingerbread house, her house had feet on it so it could walk around. And she flies not on actually a broomstick. She's got a broomstick there, but she doesn't fly on a broomstick. She flies in a mortar and pestle. So yeah, as you can see there's her house there, but that one hasn't got feet on it. But she did that. They did that mural for their grandchildren. I think it's a dacha. It's a kind of some summer residence. I think it's a real fun house, isn't it? My finger stinks. Well, take it out your arse then. Is this AI? What's AI? How can you do live AI? I have no idea. But anyway, why is your camera so bad? Well, why is my camera so bad? I don't know. I can't see it. I can't see what it's showing. I can only show from this side, can't I? Do you want to see it really bad? I'll show it really bad. Here you go. There's my ugly mug. How's that? Does that make it even better? Why is your camera so bad? I think it's just the light. Let's have a look here. If I can get it cleaned up. How's that? Does that help? No. So I can get some. I haven't got a rag with me or anything. Hold on. See if I can get this. See if I can get this. Maybe it's got smudged. So I can get my old. I'm in my old dog walking. Is that better? Does that help? Moisten yeastly well, stop sticking it in your bum. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Don't do such things. If you haven't subscribed, damn well subscribe. Get on with it. Why are you watching my live stream if you're not subscribed? Go and subscribe. It's easy to do and it boosts my channel, but I am trying to make successful, and it's going pretty okay. Camera is grainy. It's the network. Do you think it's great work speed? Probably. I'm not far away from the town, but it is a forest, and kind of, yeah, the signal is on and off. Drop a thumbs up and everyone unsubscribe. Yes, thank you, Mark Robinson. Thank you for saying that. Yes, subscribe. Get subscribing, you subscribey people. If you don't, then if you don't subscribe, then I have a good friend in the KGB who happens to have a Russian war bear who he feeds vodka, and they'll come around, snatch you and take you to the gulag if you're not subscribed. What made you want to move to Russia? Love. What else do you want? Love for my wife, and it made financial sense. Final checkpoint, you British? Yes, I am British, or English, whatever you prefer to call me. I'm a Russian citizen now. Anyway, I don't subscribe to AI. This is not AI. How is it AI? What's AI about this? I'm walking the dog slow. This isn't. There's no AI here. Alphonse Dibra. I don't do AI. The only thing I do AI, actually, if you look at some of my videos, on, I'm building a house in Novgorod. If you look at some of those videos, some of those are, what do you call it? I do the shorts. I use an AI program called Vizard, and it cuts the shorts from because it's just time saving, basically. Because I was building up there, and I was editing the videos every night because they just, it went on and on. The time to mess around. I only did a very basic edit, so cutting out bits I didn't want you to see, like mistakes and errors and things like that. And some of it was sped up, and to actually cut out the shorts takes a long time and effort. And after you've been working all day, you really don't want to be sitting doing that. So I did use AI to cut the shorts out. I'll admit to that. But other than that, my partner, I'm trying to get to her. Maybe we can chat sometime. Maybe you can, Icarus. Do you have kids in Russia to get? Did you have kids? No, I didn't have kids in Russia to get citizenship. I got citizenship through marriage. So you get what they call temporary residence, which is EVP. Then you get permanent residence. After 3 months of getting temporary residency, you apply for residency, full-time residency, and permanent residency even. And once you get permanent residency, then you have to wait a certain amount of time, or you have to be married X amount of time. But basically, I was married before I applied for residency, so there's a threshold of 3 years. I think it's 5 years now, actually, before you can apply for residency if you through marriage. So I was well over that by the time I came to apply for my residency. So I'd already passed the criteria, if you like, and I was able to apply for residency, my temporary residency, permanent residency, and straight on and apply straight for a citizenship because I already met the criteria. That's the way I did it. But is the Russian language difficult, Orchin? Yes, it is difficult. But if you're learning any new language, whether it be Spanish or French or German or whatever it is, it's not easy, is it? It's not easy to pick up a separate language. Some people do it. You get these, what they call those people who can speak loads of languages, what do they call them? Polyglot. Were you married in Russia? Okay, I was married in Russia. And we did that deliberately because basically when you apply when you get your documents and you apply for residence, you have to provide like a criminal background check that you've not been a sort of bad boy. You have to do all kinds of things, and all the documents have to be what they call legalized. It's what they call an apostille. So it's a document is legalized to be used in another country, and so to use a document, you have to be apostille. Then when you get to Russia, you have to be translated, and then what they call it notarized. So it's like an official stamp on the translation. So if your marriage certificate's already in Russian, you're not having to do all that. It's one step less. It's less money to pay out. So it made sense to get married in Russia. And it's a beautiful ceremony as well. I got married in Pushkin. Russia looked like a beautiful country, but I like my freedom that US provides. Jesse James. Yep. Okay, fine. You got freedom. We've got freedom here. We've got, actually, one of the reasons I moved here was because of the freedom that I have here. Freedom of expression, freedom of the press, freedom to do little freedoms that you have lost in the West. Especially, I don't know about America, right? Okay, I'm not American. I've never been to America. I can only tell you what I see on the news and what I hear from people who I've talked to, but for the UK, certainly, I remember, like swimming in the blooming local lake, you can have all kinds of problems, aren't you? People coming and throwing rubber rings at you and you can't do this, you can't do that. Going on Facebook and making comments about something and then being arrested, or holding a placard that says Free Palestine and being arrested for it, I was watching it. I don't watch much English news, right? It's kind of a rarity for me because they basically lie to you all the time. So, but I was watching the protest in London there, and there's like 4 cops, and they got around some old dude in a wheelchair, about 80-year-old in a wheelchair, and arrested him for holding a placard that said "Free Palestine." Is that freedom of speech? Blimey, if that's freedom of speech, I don't know. God Almighty, God help us. But James, unlike we're told in the West, in Russia we have more freedom than you forced to think. Yeah, well, hello Kathy, how are you doing from America? Hey man, say 6'7". 6'7". I don't know what 6'7" means, but 6'7". Shisht sim, shishtisad sim, shishsot, simsot. I don't know, whatever you prefer. I can only do it in English and Russian. There is, I'll show you this. I'll turn you around here. If you look down there, we're on a gated community. I don't know if you can see far down there. There's a van stuck at we've got because it's a gated community. There's a gate, right? Makes sense. And there's a van stuck down there because nobody will open the gate for him. So basically, when somebody comes onto this area, they have to get in contact with whoever's taking the delivery to their house, and that person rings up the gate, and the gate opens for them. So it's on a kind of ring system. You ring it, and it opens. Quite common in Russia, that. And so it's to prevent. Basically, in the forest here, we had a lot of fly tipping at one time. People came in and at night time, fly tippers, like all over the world, and dump their rubbish in the forest, which is very nice. So we put a gate collected together with the neighbours, and we put a electric barrier gate up there, and now so that has ceased that nonsense. I don't know whoever it is coming up this direction. It shouldn't be coming this direction, whoever it is. Unless it's, maybe it's the neighbour's cousin. So the neighbour's got a son who drives a lorry. They drive a lorry, and they've got a cousin who drives a lorry. So, why is it going up here? I'll see where he's going. He's stopping there, is he? I don't know. No, he's coming up this direction. But why? I don't know. Maybe he thinks I'm taking a delivery. They do that sometimes. Says, "Is this your delivery for you?" And you're like, "No, not for me." Yeah, he's stopped there. So he's neighbour's cousin. I think I know it is actually. But he hasn't got yes, I know it's the neighbour's cousin. So I'm thinking of moving there in Russia, Wayne Sykes. Good for you. Here in the US, in the middle, if you're against the war, you have rights not to fight. Okay. If you're against in the military, if you're against the war, if you were in the military, why would you not want to fight for your country? That's what you sign up for, right? That sounds a bit like whatever. I was in. If you don't know, I'm a British Army veteran. I was served 17 years in the British Army before I came to Russia. I had a little bit of time as a contractor in in Iraq, and 2 years contracted in Afghanistan, which paid for my house here. I want to see you duck in the bush. Duck in the bush? There's no ducks in the bush. They've flown south for the cold. If your speech is more free, may I ask your opinion on the Ukrainian conflict? Second, why Russia won't back out if they're losing so bad like we've been told they are? Because if Russia is losing so bad, why is Ukraine retreating and Russia advancing? You don't need to have a lot of sense to work that one out, really, do you? What's my opinion? See, now, you've been lied to, right? You've got to understand that you are listening to a Western, we call it Western, right? So from here, we're East, you're West, right? So to us, it's the West, right? So you're listening to your home country's media who are on an agenda. And that agenda is that Russia is the big baddie, along with China and along with North Korea, right? These are the three evils, and Iran as well, of course. Basically, anybody who doesn't agree to what the West thinks, they're bad guys. Now, if you want to sell weapons, right? If you're investing in a company, you want that company to do well. You want them to you want that company to sell its products. If you're selling coffee, you want people to be thirsty, right? So they buy more coffee. If you're selling cars, you want people to come back and get the services that are very expensive. So you make sure the components don't last more than a couple of years, right? So the exhaust is going to fall off, the brake's going to wear out, all that. Well, it's the same here. If you're invested in an arms company, somebody who's selling, making weapons, you're invested, and most of the politicians are invested in these kind of companies, then you want to sell arms. If you want to sell arms, you need a baddie. And that baddie is Russia at the moment. It's always kind of been Russia, right? And so there you go. That's why Russia is a baddie. On the Ukraine conflict, if you followed the Ukraine conflict, it started at Maidan. Maidan was the overthrow of the legally or the legitimately elected. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. My dog. Show you what he's up to. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. What he does, he likes to get in big puddles like that and then he lays down in them. Why, I have no idea. But he does that. Oddity of a dog. But anyway, what was I saying? I can't even read the comments. Sorry, it's too fast for me. So Maidan happened. Maidan happened. When that happened, it was it was a coup d'etat, basically. They overthrew the legitimate government at the time. And if you remember, you saw Victoria Nuland, who was, I forget what she was now, but she was quite high up in American politics, right? Was she Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State or something like that? Somewhere around there. Very, very high up politician. And she went to Maidan, to those protests, and gave out cookies to the rioters and encouraged them to riot and overthrow the legitimate government. I mean, they talk about, they went on about, Russia's interfering with elections. Is that, how interference is that? My God. And then it collapsed from there, didn't it? It went bonkers from there. And Ukraine started bombing Donbass in a big way. Did you know that the first airstrike in Ukraine conflict was Ukrainians? Russia wasn't involved at this point. There's no Russian aircraft there. There's no drones. The first airstrike was the Ukrainians put an airstrike onto the center of Donbass, which is a civilian city. And you can see that on YouTube. You don't have to believe me. You can go and look at it on YouTube. You can see that the very first airstrike that went in, it was the Ukrainians against their own people. And it continued and continued. And Russia had no choice but to go in and put an end to it to protect their own people, because it's a ethnically Russian-speaking area. What choice was there? And it continued on. It continued on anyway. Then Odessa was overthrown, and they actually burnt people alive in the House of Unions, if you remember that. We watched with horror. What are you doing, you silly dogs? I think there's a rat or something in the ground, and they're trying to dig it out. Come on, you. Come on, leave it alone. Come on. Come on. Oh, could even be a badger. Somebody told me there's badgers up here the other day. Come on. But anyway, short history of Ukraine. They're coming to get you, and it's justified. Who's coming to get me? It's senseless war. That should have never happened. Correct, Jess James. Ukraine is a senseless war. It should have never happened. Absolutely agree with you. It's a terrible thing to happen. We're all when Maidan happened. I mean, I was already here a long time, and when that happened, we were absolutely in horror at what happened. My wife and me were watching that, and she said straight away, "There's going to be a war now." It's going to be a war. I mean, if you don't know, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, all the people are kind of related. And so, personally, I've got family in Western Ukraine. I've got family in Belarus. So you can imagine the kind of conflict it causes within families. It's kind of civil war. It's horrible. The Russian government enjoy getting drafted. Why am I going to get drafted? You're talking rubbish. I'm poor, whatever your name is. Sorry, that's not a P, is it? It's not a P, it's some other letter. It looks like Greek to me, but anyway. Rothan said, hi, hello. Choose respond. You simply don't respond. Ah, yeah. Well, you're right, Aussie Spy. You're right, of course. But you know, I'll do a little politics. Why not? I don't do politics on my channel, by the way, on my YouTube channel per se. I don't do politics there. I'm not into that. I only do politics with live stream because basically it's an opportunity to me to respond to you. So yeah. But there is no draft in Russia for, especially people keep saying foreigners are going to get drafted. No, we're not. There was a partial mobilization of reservists. If you, whatever country you're from, your military will have a reserve force. So people who've served in the military, whether they're conscripted in or whatever, whether they serve professionally, they've been a reserve force. UK is exactly the same way. And when there's a conflict, those reserves are called up because that's what they are. They're reserves, right? And they do background activities like guarding things and basically jobs that peacekeeping troops would do, you know, guarding bases and things while the troops are fighting. So that's what the reserve was called up for. But after that, there has been no draft. There's been no second draft. There won't be another draft. They said there's not going to be another draft. I think at the moment there's something like 17,000 volunteers volunteering per week in Russia. So that gives you an idea of why there's no need for a draft. Passing out cookies caused a coup d'etat. Well, it didn't cause a coup d'etat, but it didn't help, did it? No draft sounds decent. Yeah, she didn't cause a coup d'etat. It was already happening. But if you look deeper into it, there's the evidence is overwhelming that they were interfering and causing that before it ever happened. Do people there play Tetris, or is it banned? Why would Tetris be banned? Are you the FSB agent pretending to be an ex-British citizen? No, I'm a KGB agent pretending to be a British citizen. Why? That's the funniest. That damn alarm. Even my dog set the alarm. Come away from there. He's setting the alarm off, you mad dog. But anyway, I'm not going to keep this live stream very long. There's a lot of people online right now. There's we're 188 people online. But I'm not going to keep this live stream long because I am going to meet Aussie Spy. He's in the chat there. He's got a great YouTube channel called Aussie Spy. Go click on his channel and see. He does Soviet stuff, and he does abandoned places. There's a group here called Pioneers, and it used to be something like the West Scouting movement, and now it's kind of it's in decline now. It doesn't happen much. But a lot of the camps that they had, scouting camps or pioneer camps, were abandoned, and he goes and visits them, and you can go and see some really fascinating stuff there. Tetris. The things people believe about Russia are amazingly stupid. You're telling me, if Russia attacked England, what side would you fight on? What side would I fight on? I wouldn't fight on any side because it wouldn't happen. You're being lied to. If Russia was to attack a NATO country, or if a NATO country would attack Russia, it would go nuclear. The nuclear war would last about 17 minutes or something. I think it takes the flight time of a nuclear missile to hit England is 17 minutes. The size of nuclear weapons. Now, we don't take one. That'd be it. Be all over, you know what I mean? It'd be a nuclear winter for the next 100 years. So there's going to be no war between NATO and Russia. It just never will happen. If it does happen, put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye, because you become a crispy critter within a few seconds. It just ain't going to happen. Off to the library. Thanks for the chat. I've subscribed. Thank you, Beth. You're welcome. I hope you have a nice time in the library. So you support the war, or are you against? I support the war, of course. Russian are strong. I'm glad to say. Stay safe, mate. Thank you, Dennis McCandles. So there you go. If you say so, I don't know what the comment was. I didn't see it. I was on a rant, wasn't I? I was having a moment. Listen, there's 200 people watching my live stream right now, and you haven't subscribed. Why not? Why have I not got 200 extra subscribers? Do you know if I get over 1,000 subscribers, I can actually start to monetize, which means I get cash, and I've got plans for that. I don't need money from this, but I've got some plans to help out some older folk who are struggling, and I'd like to do that. That's what. Ty govorish po-rusky. Yes, ja говорю по-rusky. Alex Bowser. World is going to look like Terminator soon. What's your channel about? What's my channel about? My channel is about, I live in Russia and I'm building a house in Novgorod, a solo build, not a fake AI build, a real solo build, as in real myself on my own, except the wife helps a little bit. I'm cheating a little bit, aren't I? But it's really a solo build up in Novgorod, and you can go and see that on my videos. The videos, I'm now back in St. Petersburg for the winter, and the videos were recorded in the summer, and they're being released every Sunday, I think it is. They're being released, and you can go and see that, some reality of building a house up there. It's a very forested area. I'm leaving St. Petersburg. This is forested, but it's gonna. This area is forested, right? But it's not going to be forested forever. It is building plots, really. It's kind of a fake forest. It's like the calm before the storm, before the buildings. So eventually this forest will all disappear, unfortunately. And when it does disappear, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be in Novgorod, where the forest will stay. So that's why I'm leaving. That's what the channel's really about. Does Russia have unions for skilled trades like welders, plumbers, pipe fitters, etc.? I don't know. Sir Richard, why Russia? Why not? Why not? I was here before the war. My wife is Russian, and I can live here on my pension. I can live here. I can live on my pension. I could not do it in the UK. Absolutely impossible. I would be forced to work till I'm 68, right? 67 or 68, whatever it is now. And I'm actually only 56, and I'm retired, semi-retired. So, have you heard of Lord Haw Haw? Lord Haw Haw was he was the German propaganda. He was the British man that went to German side, the Nazis, and propagandized against them. Yes, I do know Lord Haw Haw. Do you think I'm Lord Haw Haw? I don't think so. Traitor, Tessington, sir, traitor. Why am I a traitor? Tell me, Tessington. Is the UK at war with Russia? Nope, it isn't. Not as last I checked. Is Russia at war with UK? Nope, not as far as I know. So why does that make me a traitor? Redneck. How is the young men doing over there, and how they're taking it? Well, not everybody's in the war. Russia has a population of 140 million, as last I looked. So maybe even more, or maybe I'll spike and tell me what the actual population. The war, how's living in Russia? It doesn't affect anybody. The war is a long way away. It's like 3,000 kilometers from here, so it doesn't affect me whatsoever. I guess if you're in the border areas, yeah, it might affect you, but not for me down here. What do you think about the war? It was necessary evil, unfortunately. Lord Lula. Is that what you're going to call me, Lord Lula? So, 304 people on here watching my live stream, and you ain't subscribed yet. Why not? Get on with it. Get subscribing. Don't look at me and not subscribe. Get on with it. You can come and throw your insults. I'm happy with that, but get subscribing as well. If you don't subscribe, the KGB will come for you. I have got a bear, a Russian bear. Do you know every citizen gets a Russian bear free? We have to look after it and feed it on vodka. And what's that? Why do people miss the fart of windows after pleasing Putin? Do you think those glasses even do anything? Well, they help me see this reading. I suppose that helps. People fall out of windows. Yeah, and people haven't floated down the Thames before at the hands of the MI6, have they? That's never happened. Of course not. Would you let Vlad? I can't read. It's too quick. Would Vlad take you up the tailpipe? No. Hey, what should I do? I have no idea. What do you all still do the 21 roses for? Don't know what 20 roses is. What work do you do now? What work do I do now? I put in foundations for houses sometimes, not always, but I'm hiding from my boss at the moment. I hope he don't see this live stream. Do you think he will? He don't speak English, so maybe, even if he does, he won't know where I am. I'm hiding. I'm in hiding. I don't want to work. How do the young feel about being conscripted into a meat grinder? There's no conscription. There's no conscription. There's no draft. It's not happening. Oh, talking absolute wallop. Yeah, well, yeah, that's absolute 20 today. Hello, bro. Hello, Lorenz Gregorio. We know you, don't we? You've been on here before. I just saw a day go by my front yard. I loaded my shotgun. Should I call 911? No, why would you do that? Dear. Oh, God, Slava Ukraine. Yeah, okay, whatever. You can write that rubbish if you want. I say Slava Russia. If you can write it in Ukrainian, you can write it. If you can't, then you're just repeating slogans like, what do the Ruski think of UK? What's the pay like compared to UK? Wages are quite low here actually, but the cost of living is much lower as well. So income, you can't really compare the two really, because like the price of electric in England, I have no idea what a kilowatt hour is in the UK. So maybe you can write it in the chat if I catch it. But over here it's about 6p a kilowatt hour in the daytime. Oh, did the construction of 135 by the end of 25, the largest construction drive in 9 years, Moscow Times. No, Moscow Times is not, sorry, no, Moscow Times is not written in Moscow. Moscow Times is a propaganda piece written, I think it's in Canada. It's not even anywhere near Moscow, and there is no more conscription. Just, that's a complete lie. That's so if you want to see a lie there, go read that. It's complete lies. Don't believe it. Complete rubbish. What is the exchange rate to Russian money to UK pound? It's about 100 rubles to £1 at the moment. Around Canuck Chase talking about Russia. Where's Canuck Chase? Where's Canuck Chase? How can I prove I'm? You don't believe I'm in Russia, do you? You think I'm in the UK somewhere, don't you? Let me see if I can find something Russian to show you. How about a Russian electrical sign on the post there? I'm not sure if you can even get it, but there we go. Let's see if we can. Canuck Chase. That sounds familiar actually, but I don't know if you can see that, but it says Opasnost. Ochranny zone. The sign's actually upside down, but I don't know if you can see that. I'll see if I can zoom in. I don't know if I can zoom in. Here we go. So it's similar to UK signs. So it says Ochranny zona, which means a guarded zone. So it means don't touch the bloody power lines, basically, unless you want to get fried up. So there you go. How's that? Do you see those in England very often? Do you see Russian signs in England in Canuck Chase? Show them your neighbour. I can't. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to my house because I'm Redneck. Do you think Russia can take Ukraine? Yes, I do. If you haven't subscribed yet, get subscribing. Or it's death. You will go out the window, pushed by a Russian bear. Do you think that was? Ian was timed out by for you to see you. This is what happens when I get moderator in. You see, you get moderated. See, he's an Aussie spy. So that deer might be in my backyard. Do you think so? I was supposed to be 2 days. It's been 4 years. It's only a few kilometers. Redneck, do you realize the size of Ukraine, really? Do you realize the size of it? Do you realize the size of Ukraine? You're talking really rubbish, aren't you? You know what I mean? You've got to remember that Russia is not just totally destroying every civilian structure. They're very, very carefully. There's casualties on the civilian side, of course, there is in any war, but they are being very, very careful and deliberately not targeting civilians, unlike the Ukrainians. Russia will never take Ukraine. It will. Russia could have done that long ago, but Russia do not want to hurt them. Russia is playing soft on them. Correct, Anne Rothman. You're absolutely correct. Exactly what's happening. The weapons that are being used are not half of what they could use. Basically, they've got this Tsar bomb, which is like 10,000 kilogram bomb. It's like it's nearest to a blooming nuclear bomb, and they drop that on Kiev, it'll be flattened. But they haven't. I mean, have you ever heard of a country going to a war and not destroying first the capital? And it's not been done, has it? Ask yourself why. They're all sitting in cafes and stuff in Kiev. You know what I mean? So get real. People think just because you live somewhere, you love every government agency with that place coming from crazy, but it maybe. Stay safe. Maybe you can do some live war reporting. I don't think so. I'm not going to any war. You're mad. I'm too old. I'm not going up there. Do you enjoy the food over there? What's your favourite Russian food? Thanks. My favourite Russian food probably is pilmeni. Pelmeni is like dumplings with meat inside, and they're boiled. Very much like Polish pierogi. If you're, I think in Polish, what they call it in Polish, same kind of thing. But I can't read it. It's too fast for me. Anyway, listen. I hope you've enjoyed this little dog walk. I certainly did enjoy this little chat. It's been great. Even difference of opinion is allowed. We're allowed that in Russia, you know. I'm quite happy to hear differences of opinion as long as it's not silly. I'm happy to dispel rumours and nonsense, especially coming from the Moscow Times, which is not anywhere near Moscow. It's in Canada. I think it's in Canada, somewhere crazy. So don't read them. Absolute crap. Ukraine has been a bad place since before 2014. Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't know, Ukraine actually did an airstrike on a civilian beach in Ukraine and killed 14 kids. There's a memorial to them. It's called the Valley of Angels. Go look it up. Don't need to believe me. Go look it up yourself. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe because it helps my channel. Helps it a logarithm, however you say that, a logarithm, and it's getting the channel boosted and making it sort of something worthwhile rather than just talking my crap that I'm talking here. Making some decent videos, I hope. Maybe you can change the mindset of the ordinary people to accept your neighbours who are there without threatening war and destruction. They killed a lot more than that. I can't remember. I think it was 13 or 14. So all you invaded Ukraine because Ukraine bombed it itself. Yeah, they certainly did. They did. They bombed civilians for a long time. It was a terrible thing. You'd have to look at the war. I mean, it's more than I can explain here. You know, I can't have all the facts in my head all the time. You know, I'd have to read it myself. It's been a long time, and we've been following this for a long time. So I'm not a war reporter. I'm not a journalist. I'm only an ordinary guy. You know what I mean? So I don't follow it. It's not. We don't follow the war every day. You know what I mean? I don't read about it every day. You know what I mean? But if you want to see some truthful stuff from there, go and look at something like Military Summary Channel, or the Duran is another good one. Military Summary Duran, they give you some facts, a lot more facts than I can give you, so you can get the truth. Duran, he's based in London actually. Very, very good guy. He's an ex-barrister, I think it is. So go look at his channel. I recommend it. But if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm going to leave you now with this live stream. Is going to end it because I have to get ready to go and meet Ozzy Spy, which means I've got to do my hair, put my makeup on, and he's got to do the same thing. So, my thing closed. And get ready tomorrow. I haven't had a cup of tea yet this morning. I'm English. You know, I need a cup of tea in the morning, right? You know. So I'm going to close this live stream down. Thank you all for joining me. Have a peaceful day, wherever you are. If you want to join me, we'll be going live at 2 o'clock from the centre of Krasny Selo, which is a small rural town here. So see some more of Russia, more than what the Western media is telling you. Join me there. I'll be glad to see you and glad to talk to you from there at around about 2 o'clock-ish. Plus or minus, right? So subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Have a lovely day, everybody.